Okay, y'all, let's make a new recipe using the 10-inch pancake wreath frame. Hey, it's Melissa from Sincerely Creative Mom. Make sure you subscribe to this video so you'll always get alerts when we have a new tutorial posted. I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and put it one in each spot that has the hole and the notch combination. So there's 12. There's 6 on the outside and there's 6 on the inside. There's a couple of extra holes here that do not have coordinating notches. Don't touch them. They're just for extra if you need it in the future. Okay, so this is a brand new recipe. I tweaked it from our live the other day a couple of times, and it turned out really, really cute. So the first change is I'm making sure that twist lands on the outside notches. The twist lands where the hole is. Okay, it does make a difference. It will help your design. Make sure it's on the right where the hole is. Okay, so that's our first 6. The little spot here will help support the mesh that we're going to put in. So that's why I don't want it hanging off the edge. I do want to make sure it has a little bit of support there with the wood. Okay, that's the first thing. The second one is, now I'm not quite sure this, oh yeah, it does matter. Okay, so on the second one, on the second round, on the inside, so now we're going to work on the inside 6. These I want you to twist near the notch, just like we would for a pancake frame, okay? Just like we would for a pancake frame. So this one is going to go near the notch. I'll explain why. I'll explain why. This one's going to go near the notch. So on the very last thing we put in here, I want that to be close. I want the tie, the twist tie, the pipe cleaner to be closer to the inside so that it's easy to cover with our sign. Okay? So I want those to be on the inside for sure. And I have enough space to balance what I need here with the piece of mesh that we're putting in, so it's going to be just fine. So that is the start of our, again, it's the 10-inch frame. It's the 10-inch frame. And let me put these over here. Now, these from the demo was a different length. So these are 20 inches. It drove me crazy to not say I'm using the same amount of mesh as the regular pancake wreath. So I wanted to make sure that I could say that. So I trialed and errored that we're going to do a couple different things. Number 1, it's 20 inches, just like a pancake wreath. Number 2, we're going to put it in just slightly different, okay? Slightly different than I did in the demo. So I am not going to ruffle right up the center. I am going to ruffle right off to the side. So there's like 3/4 and 1/4, okay? That is still the same. So we're going to ruffle. We're going to keep that right off to the side. I am still going to curl the end, okay? So I'm like folding that in, all right? And then I'm going to scrunch up the center, not up the center here, but I mean the center here. And then I'm going to fold that other side in and scrunch up the rest. Now, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to flip it over so that there's a nice little base, a nice little shelf instead of a cave. Okay, there's a nice little base here to have the ribbons kind of lay on. All right. Okay, nice little shelf. Instead of it being caved in, right, we're just going to do it that way. So then the next step is I'm going to take, now for all of you who are like, can you use 2 different color mesh? Can you blah, 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 blah? And for years, I'm like, that makes me twitch a little bit. We're just going to stay with the same. And recently, for the pancake wreath, for the regular pancake, this is the Pancake Petite, by the way. Thank you to Sweet Joyce for helping me name this. So for the pancake wreath, I used just the same mesh over and over, all the same. Here, we have an opportunity to add in not only a different texture, but also if you want a different mesh. So I haven't tried it with border mesh yet. So this is actually going to be a trial with the border mesh, and we'll be able to say whether we like it or not. Also, I want to point out before we go any further, I'm using mesh that has decorative stuff in it. Okay. It's not just plain solid color mesh. I will say I haven't made one yet with just the solid color, but in my opinion, it's going to make a difference. All right. Because this does something. It already adds a texture. It already adds something to your design rather than just being a blank negative space, right? With color. Okay. So here, this is 10 inches. These were 20. This is 10. All right. All I'm going to do is roll it up. Just roll it so that it's on top of each other so that the edges are flat. So they're not like, you know, something sticking out there. And right down here, same spot as over there, I'm going to scrunch it up. So I have a nice little tube. Okay. And then I'm going to put this on the inside. It seemed to be easier to put these in like, you know, cruffle, tube, cruffle, or curl, whatever, instead of putting in all of these first and then moving stuff out of the way. This seemed to be an easier way. So I'm just going to go right in here, make sure that this is even, and that's where I want to tie it. I'm completely not worried about what this looks like. Not at all. Don't worry. Okay? Don't worry at all. Right? So cute like that. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going in that order. We're going to keep going. So curl, curl. So it's real little. Scrunch, 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 scrunch. Till I get to the other side. Enough for me to curl, curl. Maybe one more. Scrunch. Flip it over. And now that's going to go in the outer tie. Okay, in the outer tie, making sure that I'm making them level, okay? So one isn't like sunken in a whole lot. And then I'm going to keep going. Curl this in. Curl. It's 10 inches. And when I let go, I want to try to make sure, you see how that kind of came up on the top? I'm going to try to make sure that goes on the bottom. Try to make sure that goes on the bottom. Make sure I'm getting about level. I just don't want anything sticking out, like really sticking out, right? So that it's, you know, really doesn't look like it belongs there. We're going to keep going just the way we're going. Let's see, was there something else I wanted to make sure I told you? But the flip it over, because every time I use it, like if I make, even if I do the pancake wreath and I'm using this method, or the pancake frame, I always put them in like that because it looks pretty. But this, I just want that little shelf to help hold our ribbons up instead of letting them sink in. And it really did make a big difference. Okay, it really did in the other demos I was doing. It really did make a big difference. So I'm going to make sure I do that and just watch where that seam ends up, and I'll just turn that over. It's okay that it gets a little bit bigger. That's fine, but I just want the seam to end up on the bottom. Because this much here, you're probably not going to really see much. It's that edge right out there. So we have 6 pieces of 20-inch. And it could all be the same mesh. That's totally fine. But I encourage you to use a mesh that is decorative, like this. Okay? Flip it over. encourage you to use the mesh. Now, this is just a recipe I just came up with yesterday. If you watched the live, we did the anchor wreath, and I kind of made it right then and there. I did tweak it a couple of times from the live. And this is what we came up with. I absolutely love it. So if you've been around long enough, you've maybe heard and been around when I did the Pancake 2.0, which was also on the 10-inch frame, but I did not love it. And I really didn't love it after it was up on the wall or on your door for a while. It just, the ribbons were too long. It folded forward. And so I stopped making them because it just didn't go for me. And so I, quite honestly, in true transparency, I am out of pancake frames. I do have frames for our kits, but I'm out of ones that I can use for myself, and I haven't ordered them yet. And so I was like, well, I got the 10-inch frame. What am I going to do with that? And so that's where that's where it came up. That's where it came from. But it really truly did turn out really good. In fact, so much so that I took down the other designs I had with the old way, the 2.0 way. I took those down off of Etsy and took them out of my shop, and I'm going to use those for a sale over at the boutique and get rid of them, and then they'll just be this style. So I'm using the same amount of mesh as the pancake wreath, as the original. I'm just using half the amount of ribbon tails. So we only have one layer of ribbon tail versus 2 layers of ribbon tail. Same sign, the sign sizes, and I'm going to go through a couple different sizes with you in a minute so you can see the differences. Same bow size, just half the amount of ribbon for the ribbon tails. So, oops, gotta put that in upside down. So I did adjust the price just a little, not a lot. I did adjust the price. My pancake wreaths sell on Etsy for $99 and change. And I made these $89 and change. It is a smaller wreath by about 2 inches. But just by 2 inches, it's still a good size, it's still a good size wreath. I mean, it's still slender and slim to honor the pancake, right? But this it is so cute. It is so cute. And that last layer of mesh that we're going to put on, that seals it. I don't know how else to say it, but that definitely seals it. Okay, all this doesn't matter. It's fine, okay? All that doesn't matter. It's fine. This is, it's really cute. It's really, really cute. Now, in the 20-inch piece of mesh, that's where I'm going to put my ribbon, again, so that it has like a little shelf here, all right? I chose 2.5-inch ribbons. I kept them at 14 inches long. I really did debate on whether I wanted to go up to 15 inches because 15 inches still, with that extra piece of mesh that we're going to put in there, 15 inches I believe would still be really good, and it would give you just a little bit more length out here. But I stopped myself because now previously, I'm looking all over for the 2 ribbons that I had. Where'd they go? Oh, here. Previously, if I used these 2 rolls of ribbon for my ribbon tails on a pancake wreath, I could get 2 full wreaths out of these 2. Okay? So this all goes down to, listen, I know I'm a little kind of bit OCD. That's why I wanted to tweak this and make sure I can get 20 inches out of this piece to make sure I still have a third left, just like the pancake. But if I would have went up to 15 inches, then I couldn't say this. Are you ready? Now, using 14 inches, I need 6 sets. Now, with these 2 rolls of ribbon, I could get 4 wreaths this size. 4! because I only need 6. And it is darling. It is so cute, okay? So, you know me, I'm a little crazy. So I'm like, oh, is the 15 inches, is that 1 extra inch, a half an inch on both sides of the tail, is that worth the me being able to say, or compromising me being able to say, hey, you can get four wreaths out of this? Then that makes, like, some of these rolls are getting up to $10, right? I don't want that. So now I can break that down even further to stretch it even more. Love, okay? Totally love. Which helps me at the boutique to keep our price point and offer a very similar style wreath, but keep our price point, which is, you know, important, okay? If you're interested in learning all about how I sell in boutiques, how I found a boutique, the contracts, all the things, we do have a class available for you. If you go over to learnfrommelissa.com, you can click on the link there. It'll bring you to it. All right, so we did 2 2.5 inch ribbons. You see here, this right side makes it go looking like you're looking at it the right way, and the left side makes it look like you're going upside down. So I'm going to make sure I put that pattern in all the way. All right, now it's a little different because it's not the pancake wreath where you have 2 layers of ribbons, where if one is like going the opposite way, you know, it can kind of blend in. You wouldn't really notice. This you might notice a little bit more. All right, you might notice a little bit more. So, and my favorite, I couldn't choose. Either one in this case would have been pretty. I just went with the pumpkins on the top. So I always put my favorite on the top. I cut them 14 inches long. Again, of course, dovetailed the end. And then I folded it to find the center. Unfold, and that's where we're at, okay? So we have 2 ribbons. I'm going to make sure this side goes on the right. Scrunch up the center. Look for my 20-inch piece of mesh. And that's where it goes. Okay, that's where it goes. We'll come right back to it in just a minute. But I'm going to twist, because nothing else is going in here. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. And we only have 6 sets. So you are putting in, I think it's going to, I haven't timed it when I wasn't teaching. I haven't timed it when I wasn't teaching. Or when I wasn't just demoing. So I think it's going to be about the same amount of time, though, because my hands are going in and twisting something in the same amount of times. Right? Same amount of times. So technically, I'm putting in 12, 18 pieces of mesh, technically, and 1 set of ribbons. So technically, my hands are twisting the same amount of time. So I think it's going to be about the same as far as creating, which for me, if I'm not teaching, is about 35 minutes or so. So I think it'll be about the same. But again, you're saving an extra layer of ribbon. And you're using up those 10-inch frames that we've been accumulating, which equally important, right? Equally important. We've got to make sure we use up those 10-inch frames. This gives us a decent size wreath at 22 inches. I love it. Okay, so from here, of course, we're going to take our wire cutter, cut off the excess where the ribbon tails are. Don't cut the other ones yet. Where the ribbon tails are. Okay. And we're going to hide that. Okay, we're going to hide it. Just going to push it in. And we'll push those in as we go around, okay? Same thing. I'm going to pull them apart, up and down, pull them apart, side to side. Up and down, side to side. Same as the pancake. Same as the pancake. Up and down, side to side. Okay, now I chose to put the ribbons specifically. Okay, we put that 20-inch piece of mesh on the outside twist ties. I chose specifically to put them in the outside because that inner twist tie is a little bit further in, right? And I want that length on the ribbon. You know, I want to be able to see it, especially after we put our last piece of mesh in. So I don't want these to be covered up too much. They're covered up just perfectly the right amount, and helping, that mesh is going to help keep the, it's going to help keep the ribbon in place. Okay. I love, love. If you're not doing this part where you are separating them up and down, separating them side to side, just like I say every single time we make a pancake wreath, it will not give you this effect, okay? You want to make sure that they are separated. Everybody needs a little space sometimes, right? Okay? Separate them. And then I'm not, as much as it's going to kill me and absolutely, you know, drive me crazy because the ribbons are going to keep shifting as I put in that next layer, I'm not going to touch them. I'm going to touch them at the very end. Don't touch them. All right? Now, I still have, you can see in there, I still have spots where I can see the frame. Okay? So even if I took this and went over, I mean, that's okay. That's okay. But I still want to be able to put in a bow. That's all right. I do like that. But I still want to make sure, that is okay, actually. You could do that. But the Pancake Petite recipe accommodates all different sizes of, this is the 10-inch, by the way. This is the 10-inch. All different sizes of signs. So the Pancake Petite recipe, we're going to add, move that out of the way. We're going to add one more piece of mesh. One more piece of mesh. It's 10 inches. Okay. It's 10 inches. We're going to take the cut edge to the cut edge. That makes a difference, by the way. Cut edge to the cut edge. So I have a nice little bubble forming here. And I'm just going to scrunch this up. So we have nothing fraying here. All right. There is going to be fraying. It'll be on the inside and then it's going to be totally fine. I'm going to set that right down in there. Right down in there on the open pipe cleaner. This is going on top of that 10-inch curl. Nothing is going here. Now I imagine if you wanted to put an 8-inch sign, this piece of mesh would still, I think, be, in my opinion, be necessary. But if you wanted to put a little tiny tail there, you could. I'm going to skip that part because, again, notice I'm using decorative mesh. It's not a solid. Okay? Cut edge to cut edge. Not a solid. So that mesh is doing some work all by itself. It's doing some texture work, right? It's making things cute. Right down in there, right in the center. Love. I also, you know, the 10-inch frame comes with the Pancake Wreath bundle. And I love how our frame gives you, like, it gives you the spots you need. Based on my Pancake Wreath recipe, which was based on a budget. Right? Based on a budget. I am missing one of these. Must have only cut 5. Okay. Based on the, you know, Pancake Wreath, based on a budget, based on how far, how much we can stretch our materials. Listen, that's not a bad thing. Okay. That's not a bad thing at all. And for those of you who are wondering, could I put, you know, greenery or florals in these? There's plenty, plenty, plenty of crevices and spots for you to glue things to. Plenty of spots. This is darling. I could have swore I cut enough pieces, but maybe I didn't. Cut edge to cut edge. That is important. Otherwise, these edges here that you can totally see are going to be fraying, and you do not want that. Cut edge to cut edge. Fold it. And then just scrunch it up. So you got a nice little kind of bubble there. I think that's cute. Pancake Petite. Love, love, love. Okay. I know I'm going against my rules and I'm cutting as we go, but I just love to see how good it looks as we go along. So pretty. Oh, here, there's two in here. That's okay. There we go. Alrighty. I knew I cut them right. So now this gives, now we have 3 different types of mesh here. 3 different types of mesh. It's lovely. I love it. If you would have told me that I was going to make a wreath, a pancake wreath on the 10-inch frame, no less, with 3 different types of mesh, I'd have been like, absolutely not. No, no, no. No, that's not happening. This is so cute. I'm so sorry that I keep saying it, but it is. So I'm twisting those nice and tight, keeping about 1 inch there and hiding the rest. I mean, it's perfect. And when I'm done here with this one, I'm going to pick it up and show you what I like the most. I should have brought down one of the 2.0s. I did bring one home, so you could see the difference. I want you to see how sturdy it is when I pick it up and move it. Whereas the 2.0, which is very similar to this, you know how it's not ruffled right in the center, it's ruffled off to the side. Instead of the curl, okay, without the curl part, that was the 2.0 ruffle, the Pancake 2.0 ruffle. And this ruffle and this added piece here, okay, makes it very sturdy. Makes it very sturdy. Also this, I can see the seam there. It is making me twitch a little bit. So in the future, I'll be making sure that you cannot see the seam, that the seam is in fact on the bottom. But that is cute. Okay, I'm not going to mess with the ribbons. I'm not going to mess with the ribbons. But look at how, like, it is, like, in the other one, these would be, like, falling forward because the ribbons were longer. There wasn't anything to hold. I am in absolute love. Now, before I go further, I'm not even going to fix the ribbons, but before I go further, I just want you to see what it's going to look like with other size ribbons. So we have, or sorry, other size. Oh yeah, see that would still be, look at that. Listen, I'm impressed with myself right now. I love this so much. Okay, so this is the 10-inch round. Always, always, I would still add a bow. We'd add a bow right here, or you could shift it up a little bit so that it's just up a little. It doesn't matter that it's hiding this, and you could add your bow right here. So it'd kind of be a little bit offset, just a little. I love that. Or you could put it right down here. Just remember, the frame itself is as big as the sign. Okay, this is a 10-inch, right? It's as big as the sign, okay? So if I'm going to add this in, I know my wires can go straight down, but I'm going to add a bow in. It's going to go on this, like, underneath. So keep that in mind, okay? I'm not sure how we're going to do ours yet, but that's the 10-inch round. Now let me show you what a couple other sizes look like. The 12-inch round, well, let's just see. This is the one we did in the demo, the 5 by 10. Okay, up just like a pancake, bow just like a pancake. Love. That's the 5 by 10. Here's the 6 by 12. Beautiful. Okay, again, I'm putting it up a little bit so that I have room for that bow, so it's not just hanging off the edge, right? I could shift that down a little bit, and you can still see the top piece of that mesh just a little bit, but I really do think, even if it's hiding it, I really do think you need that layer of mesh just to make it all look complete and actually finished, all right? So that's the 6 by 12. here's the 8-inch, which I thought was really cute still too. Look at that. Especially, I mean, I know these don't match, obviously, but especially you can see all that out there, and you could still put a bow. Really, really cute. So great spot for the 8-inch round. So if you bought 8-inch either on purpose or on accident, that is adorable. I love that. Okay. And then here's the 8x10, which I also thought was lovely. 8x10. Again, doesn't match, but just for the size. 8x10. Love. Love it all by itself. Love adding a little bow. Love shifting it up a little bit and adding a little bit bigger bow. Love. Okay. And then that 6x12. I'm sorry. Excuse me. The 12-inch round. Now, obviously, this doesn't match, but the 12-inch round. Great. You would want, because remember, the frame is 10-inch. Okay. So you wouldn't necessarily want to put either your stickies or whatever you're doing on the edge here. You would want to put it in a little bit so that it's not going to be kind of awkward to attach it to the frame. Love. Okay. And then I have a 12-inch or 10-inch square. So it all fits. It's just a matter of where you're going to put your bow, how big the bow is going to be. It all fits. I love this so much. Okay, so those are all the different styles. Even, look at that. Love. What I also like too is your pipe cleaners that are in here. You know, it's on the inside of that 10-inch frame. Remember I said we're going to finish in just a minute, but these are all important parts. Remember I said I wanted you to put your twist tie on the inner 6. I wanted you to put it near the notch. This is why. Because now if I'm using something smaller or if I have something shaped, it's not 10 inches now that I have to like kind of maneuver and cover all of our spots. And this piece of mesh kind of, it doesn't just lay flat where you can see the pipe cleaner loud and clear, right? It kind of squeezes in a little bit, so it hides it automatically. Love it. Totally love. Okay, we are in business. Ooh, even a heart one. Oopsie. But see, again, I will not skip this layer of mesh. I won't skip it. Nice big bow right here. Love. 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 Totally love. Totally and absolutely love. Okay. So from here, we're going to add our sign. And we have a bow. So let's add our sign. We are going to add wire. Okay. We're going to add wire. And so I'm just going to poke these a little bit on the side. I'm going to poke over here. This is just a metal hole punch that we got 1 month in our wreath supply box, which was very, very helpful. If you're looking for what the wreath supply box is, it's a surprise mystery box that we get every month of random, usually they coordinate, really cool, exclusive. A lot of them are exclusive pieces. And it's a monthly subscription. So really, really cool there. Again, you can go over to learnfrommelissa.com and the information, the link for the resupply box will be in there also. Okay. All right, pulling this, kind of push down on that. Twist. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Now, this is, in my opinion, just a better way than using the mounts, the zip tie mounts. Again, just my opinion, my personal preference. If I can use wire or staple something on, I'm going to do that. I'm definitely going to do that. Okay. All right, so now you can place this just a little bit up. Just a little bit. Just a little bit up and over. Just a little tiny bit. So I'm going to make a bow. Let's actually, Let's make our bow first, and then we can kind of put both of them on at the same time. How smart is that? All right, so we're going to go 2 here. 2 loops here. Actually, are we going to go 2? I mean, the bow is going to vary on your space, your size. Your space, your size, and your size bow. I'm sorry, size sign. Let's just go 1 loop, 1 tail. We don't have, with a 10-inch round, we don't have a lot of space. And I don't want to shift this all the way up because I don't like the way it looks here, right? And I don't want the bow hanging off the edge. So I just want a little tiny, just something right here. Just right there. So let's go for this style. So this is the Pancake Petite recipe here. This is the Pancake Petite recipe. Your size sign will dictate what your bow looks like. Okay. So for the 10-inch round, I'm going to choose to go with an 8-inch, and a 6-inch. That's it. 8-inch and a 6-inch. I'm going to cut this off back here. 1 loop. I'm going to choose to not do a great big giant bow. Okay. And then same thing. Eight-inch, 6-inch. Let's see. If I put that in that way, I want this to be this way. No, okay. All right, well, maybe I'll do 2 on this one, because then that one can go up. That one can go down, like that. Okay. Because it comes off the roll upside down. Like if I was going to make my tail first, that would be upside down, right? And so I just kind of work it out so that which way is going to be the top? This way is going to be the top. So then I'm going to twist this back one back here. So I had to flip it over so that it's going to go the right way, at least the loop in the front tail. But everything else is still going to do 1 loop, 1 tail. I'm just going to do the 2 on the pumpkins. And then I'm going to go, you know me, I think I'm going to put the plaid on the top. Nope. I'll put that leopard on the top. Bring out the leopard. So if you're looking for how to match your ribbon tails or how to match ribbons for your tails, for your bow, etc., we have a class called Creative Confidence. It's over at learnfrommelissa.com. If you go there and check things out, the class does a lot of things, but it also focuses on building your confidence on matching ribbons for your bow, matching ribbons for your sign. I think I might add in 1 more tail here. I don't know, we'll see. then of course, I'll put that leopard on the top. I'm kind of just all over the place with this. I'm going to put 2 loops up here. So there's no rules in bow making. You can do it however you want. Just because I think that's going to look better when it comes down. Boom. So we did a little bit of everything on this bow. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Also, the next class I am creating will have recipes, bow recipes, wreath recipes, just basic, so you can stop feeling overwhelmed and I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to start, I don't know what I should do first, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna just fast track you to where we are today so you can practice and start. So make sure you're on our email list, our newsletter, for that notification coming. It'll have a list of our favorite tools. It'll have a list of our favorite suppliers. Okay. All right, now if I pull this out, pull that over, pull this over, pull it up, pull this out. Oh my goodness. Okay, the sign is going to go directly where it is. Directly right there. So here's the, like, not tricky, but you gotta make sure you're getting it in the right position. Use those wires. And notice I'm saying use wire because it's just easier with wire, you guys. Wire is just easier than the pipe cleaner because the pipe cleaner has those two, you know, it's 2 pieces of metal wound together. And the wire is just 1 wire. So I'm just going to kind of tack that in until I get the other one in. And then when I get the other one in, I'll make sure that's secure. And I'll come back and do this one. So again, I want to make sure it goes right there. Again, this is on the 10-inch frame. So for those of you who have been using the pancake frame, we are going to use up our 10-inch frames. Let's do it. Let's totally do it. I sell a lot of pancake wreaths over at the boutique where I sell. They are nice enough to alert me when something sells so I can adjust as necessary. And I just had one sell online, and she said, oh, someone's in here looking at it right now. I said, no, it's sold. I can't make it again. Okay, that side's insecure, so then I'm going to go back over on this side. You can hear that wire kind of moving around. I'm going to go back over here and secure it in. Sometimes I do that where I'm not securing one side until the other side, at least the wire is in. That way, you know, I can make sure it's in the perfect spot. And then I'm just twisting these. I'm just twisting it and kind of curling it and shoving it underneath the frame. So I'm not cutting the wire so that it's short, because if I cut the wire and it's short, it could come out and add some troubles. So I'm just going to do that. So I have a nice little spot here. I can see that mesh kind of around the way. A little bit, perfect. A little bit more on this side, perfect. I'm going to go right where I said. So my ribbons kind of just shape the, look at how cute. Oh, that's darling. Now, a couple different things on this particular design. Number one, teal or turquoise is automatically going to deter people. Okay? Not everyone is in the hip trend and on the new colors. Not everyone is. So that's going to, well, number one, it's going to, the first, right off the bat, it's going to eliminate potential buyers, which is fine. Number two, trying to get this in here. Number two, the leopard. The leopard is going to automatically deter some folks. So, I got kids walking in the door right this second. So, just keep that in mind as you are picking out things, right? It is trendy. You do want to stay on the trends. You do want to have some options like pink with Halloween. You do want to have some options, all right? But it's going to take a certain person to want to even be interested, much less buy it. So don't be interested. Don't be discouraged. Okay, this turned out absolutely perfect. I love it. I love the bow size. I love everything about it. It is so perfect. I love the colors. It's just perfect. And it's nice and sturdy. So I pick it up and shake it. It's not going to move around. The last thing, the very last thing, I'm going to go through and move all of our ribbons into the exact position I want them or need them to be. Just shift them a little bit before I take them right to the camera and take their final picture so that they're all facing out. Nothing is really tucked under the other one. They look balanced. It is just absolutely perfect. I hope you enjoyed this Pancake Petite design that we just created. We tweaked it a couple times. So we have the 10, it's perfection. We have the 10-inch frame. Let me move you up a little bit. We have the 10-inch frame. We put a twist tie in every single one. We specifically put the twist tie on the outside, close to the hole or right on the hole. We put the twist tie on the inside, right on or near the notch, okay? On the outside pieces, we put in that 20-inch cruffle. On the inside pieces, we put in that 10-inch curl. We put 14-inch ribbons, just like the pancake wreath. We added another 10-inch piece that we folded, cut edge to cut edge, folded, ruffled up the cut edge side, and put it in there so it looked like little bubbles, kind of. And then we added, in this case, the 10-inch side sign, but I showed you all the different sizes, how that would look. And then we made our bow just according to what ribbons we really wanted to see and that sort of thing. I love it. It turned out super great. I hope you're enjoying it. Cannot wait to see all your styles. Don't forget the Powered by Creative Pancakes. That group is a free group. Okay, you can go in there and post all your pancake pictures there. I cannot wait to see. It's Powered by Creative Pancakes. That link is also over at learnfrommelissa.com, which is in the link in the description of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I can't wait to see them all, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, y'all.